Hi, I'm Erik Blauberg, and we're in New York City in the meatpacking district, one of the finest meat purveyors in the country, Debragga and Spitler. And I'd like to introduce an old friend of mine, Marc. Marc is the owner, and
great to see you again, Chef.
Great to be here, Marc. Tell us a little bit about the process.
This is what we call a dry aging process, which many purveyors will try to dabble with. We take great pride. We think we do a great job. We have a great environment for the product. Maintain a certain degree of humidity and air circulation, and we take product, we put it on a shelf, and we allow it to age over a period of 28 to 45 days, whatever the customer wants. The meat will shrink, and you're going to get that real intensified, slightly nutty steakhouse flavor that really customers come to prize and love, and that I know you've been a fan of for so many years that we've done business together, Chef.
So delicious.
I love dry aged beef. There's nothing wrong with a great steak.
That's the only way to go. All right, Marc, the meat here is unbelievable. This is some of the best meat in the country.
Thank you.
And show me where you're hiding the best of the best.
Well, I'm going to have one put aside just for you, my friend, because I knew you were coming. So let me pull out our pride and joy here.
Look at that, baby.
This is a Niman Ranch certified Angus beef prime shortloin. This is a naturally raised product, Erik. No hormones, no antibiotics, never been fed any animal byproduct. Really a never ever program. And as you can see, it's graded USDA prime. Look at the marble in that piece of beef.
See the chunks of fat.
Yeah, I mean if I was going to eat a steak in my shop, this is the one I'm eating.
Yeah,
so I had this pulled aside for you, man.
I appreciate that.
And I know what you love. You love the porterhouse. So I know you like getting onto the back end where you've got that big, beautiful piece of filet.
Yeah, that's
along with the strip, yeah.
And that's a full-size filet mignon. That's a beautiful piece of meat. And of course, here you have the New York strip steak.
Right.
So you got the best of both worlds.
You get the best of both. And we're going to get a couple of porterhouses. Then we'd get a few T-bone steaks.
Exactly.
And then we'd end up with some beautiful center-cut strip steaks out of the shoreline.
That's gorgeous.
This is without a doubt. If I was you and I was going to have a meal tonight, this is what I'd be eating, Chef.
I'm going to take this one.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about the difference between a porterhouse and a T-bone and the New York strip steak and exactly what we have here.
The beautiful part about that is people hear porterhouse, they hear T-bone, they hear strip steak. It all comes out of one muscle.
Exactly.
So the short loin has the piece of the tenderloin left attached to the bone-in strip. We were looking at the bone-in shells here. Envision on the back end of this the piece of tenderloin still being on the undercarriage of the animal.
Exactly.
So that's what this is. A porterhouse would be the first two cuts where the fillet is much larger.
Yes.
That's what we call a porterhouse.
A true porterhouse.
Correct. As the fillet gets smaller in size as you go towards the middle of the loin, it becomes a T-bone. Same musculature, the strip and a piece of fillet, but the fillet is much smaller.
Right.
And obviously, once the fillet completely disappears, you get back to the front end. And some chefs will serve a bone-in center-cut steak out of this. We'll bone it out, make a boneless center-cut strip steak. But all three of those cuts come out of the same muscle.
That's amazing.
And it's a great way for chefs to utilize it as well. And really the key, again, to any of this quality beef is the marbling. I mean, the fat in that muscle.
You could see the muscle.
I mean, there's almost
chunks.
There's almost more fat than there is meat in this thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be an incredible eating experience.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. So when the fat renders out, of course, the fat is flavored.
Because when you dry age, you lose a lot of moisture. We lose 13% of the body weight of this piece of meat. So that you would think empirically makes it a little bit drier. But when you have a lot of fat in that muscle, when you cook it, it still ends up being real tender and juicy, which you need to have. That's why you only really dry age high quality pieces of beef. It's the only thing that really makes sense to have a great dining experience.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. That's gorgeous. All right.
You're all set, man.
So let's get this on the grill.
Did you just get it on the grill? Oh, you're cooking, I hope.
Yeah, I'm cooking.
Okay,
All
you're
right.
the chef, not me.